What's up, guys? Welcome back to Deep Thoughts FM. This is our fourth time recording this intro because we are big stupid. We're gonna be on some spicy topics this time, so just a heads up right now. Yeah, we're basically gonna be going on feminazis, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, that whole fiasco, and maybe covering Flat Earth. I don't really know yet. Um, but as you guys probably noticed, we have cameras now.
Wow.
We were going to be trying to get them working last time, but they were completely screwed in post. The recording got all scuffed, so we only uploaded audio for the first one, but now we have camera, and so hopefully it looks good. We might go back to just audio, but you never know.
Yep. Disclaimers. Anybody who we may so happen to mention in these podcasts, please do not harass. If you just happen to know our schooling or housing locations, please do not dox us online. What else?
Chef's got a list. Basically,
I'm
same stuff as
about
last
to.
time. Don't dox us. Don't harass us. Everything we say is purely theories and only that. Actually, a thank you to Julian for confirming some of our theories in the last one. Let me pull up his comments,
Should I?
letting
Hold
us
on.
know that in one of ours, if you break the sound barrier in a jet, can you still hear the engine? And yes, you can still hear the engine once you break the sound barrier because the sound is coming from within the air bubble surrounding the plane. Thank you.
Interesting.
If you believe in flat Earth,
Damn.
you eat with the fork the wrong way. You are like a person trying to eat fork with the cereal.
Not at all. What is this? I meant to grab the fork that's right here.
I
But
just
never
said
mind.
trying to eat. Yeah, so flat Earth.
Salty.
Uh-oh. Adam died. So, flat Earth. Flat
You're not
Earth.
speaking.
This dude
You,
broke.
Adam, you are not speaking.
I feel like I had to type in chat. Anyways, so flat Earth. I've heard compelling arguments towards it. I personally don't believe it.
About to say.
No, I really have heard like pretty compelling arguments towards it. Adam, you're still muted.
I have not heard a solid argument for flat Earth ever.
Let me guess. Have you been interested in the memes of, oh, if the Earth is flat, why don't you fall off of it?
No. I mean, they're funny because it's dumb, but no.
Okay then.
I mean, there was a test where someone was like, if the light shines through at 17 feet all through two boards and you can see the light at the end at 17 feet, the Earth is flat. But if you have to raise the light so you can see through the holes in the board, then the Earth is round. And guess what?
Feet is not that much.
The Earth is
Oh,
round.
there you go, Adam.
Yeah, 17 feet is not that much. It's like that's
Well, no,
not-
they were trying to see like so if you hold the light at 17 feet, you can see the light through two holes and like pieces of board they put up. That's the hole's 17 feet high. But if the
Oh.
Earth is curved, you'd have to lift the light up to see through the holes.
So pretty
Yeah.
much it was just a perception check. It was just
Yes, but they had to lift the light up because the Earth is round.
Yeah.
And then
It
the
is-
people that think the ice caps go around the entire all the land are also very stupid.
Yeah.
well
It's a
the
little
the
impossible for
entire
it to be flat. Look at the history of how America was founded.
Right?
Okay.
Clearly, you
Hold
can't.
on.
The Earth
The-
can't be flat.
Back
The
issues.
entire idea behind flat Earth is pretty much the very center is the North Pole, obviously, and the entire South Pole. So pretty much, if you got spherical Earth and you opened the yes, and from the South Pole you opened it up and made it a circle, that's pretty much the entire idea. So you still have a compass that points north, but even if you start going east, you'll still end up going around the Earth due to the fact that your compass will always point east as long as you are going around in a circle.
Yeah. I don't know. Flat Earth is just a weird concept. I don't know why they think a coin is modeled after it, but I don't know. Whatever.
When we clearly have space images of the circles.
Hey, fun fact, did you know those are not actual images? Those are composed of blurry, bad images that's like 3D modeling. Like we don't have a
There's
pic.
someone on
No, no,
TikTok who filmed from space.
Yeah, okay, that guy has.
So what are you gonna say then?
Yeah,
But
That's not an actual video. It's photoshopped.
they're
hold on.
legitimate pictures now.
There's we have never actually had a picture of another planet. It's all 3D rendering. Like it's
Well,
all
from a very shitty rendition of it.
yeah, it's been a bad like there's been bad photos of, a far away shape, but the entire like the actual like close up of Mars and even like the far away photo of like Mars, that's all 3D like modeling. That's all like this is what we think it looks like. That's why if you look at pictures of Jupiter from like 2010 to like the newer version, there's this odd blue circle. They just came up with that. Like they got the idea from something that they saw and then thought, well, that means that this is what it looks like. It's the same exact image. They just copied and pasted a small blue circle somewhere on it.
Interesting. All right, on to our next topic. So Jake Paul knocked out Ben Askren. So he thinks that that's his step towards fighting Conor McGregor, and his brother is trying to fight Mayweather. I'm not even going to get into that fiasco,
Oh, that
but
stupid.
we are going to talk about Jake. So here's the thing: he has fought a YouTuber, a retired boxer, or a retired basketball player, and a retired wrestler. They say, oh, he was an MMA, he was a UFC world champion. He was an Olympic wrestler, multiple national champion wrestler, and he was very well known in the UFC for not having hands. He was known for not hitting very hard because he's a wrestler. He's not a boxer. So Jake calls him out of retirement with this whole 40-year-old dad bod thing going on. I don't get why everyone's saying Jake Paul is all the shit. It's like he is calling people out.
He'd rather fight a retired bowling player than an actual boxer.
Yeah, and he's trying
If
to
you
fight
give
McGregor. Here's the thing: McGregor was a kickboxer, and he's proved himself as one of the best strikers in the UFC. That kind of, he's gonna get smacked. Like,
if you gave Jake Paul a list of full of people that were actual boxers or had boxed sometime in their life professionally, he would pick the one person that did like bowling or was a janitor at the freaking NBA fight or NBA, freaking ignoring all the actual professional boxers saying, "Oh, I'm 3-0 because I fight people who can't fight."
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when it comes to
That's like saying I'm 3-0 fighting babies.
basically. Yeah. Logan Logan Paul, he's the only one that I'm kind of like interested to see because he's fighting a real boxer. Mayweather will knock him out.
Yeah,
in
if
the first
if
round.
somehow
No
Logan
shot, he won't.
wins, if
It's
somehow for whatever reason Logan wins, we all know it's rigged.
Yeah,
Like
that
even
fight-
when it came to what's it called? The recent fight with Jake and
Askren.
retired dad bod.
yeah,
it was-
retired
it-
dad bod.
It was pretty much rigged. Like it had to be. Because
No.
the first couple of punches, like, all right, we're gonna bring up the fact that what's his name didn't train, really. He probably didn't. He thought
Askren?
this YouTube kid
Oh,
is trying to like mess with me. I probably got this. And that's
No,
pretty
I
much
mean,
the
it
only
wasn't
thing that you
rigged.
can give Jake.
Jake, I doubt it was rigged
What
because
was?
the
The
Paul
fight.
and Askren fight.
Mhm.
When Askren got up, you could tell he legitimately got hurt there.
Yeah,
Was
but he
the ref
walks
calling
away
hurt?
smiling.
Wouldn't you? He made $14 million. Yeah, I'd walk away smiling too. Whether the ref called an early stoppage or not, that's on him to decide. But hey, I'd be happy too. You get knocked down once, walk away with 14 mil. I'd say that's a great day.
You ever seen what's it called? The movie Snatch with Brad
No.
Pitt and who's not Jason Statham, is it?
I haven't. I have heard of it though.
Yeah, 2000. Well, pretty much a plot line in that is Brad Pitt is supposed to be fighting like a really big dude by the end. And the entire thing behind it, other than the entire plot line, which is a great movie and you should see it if you haven't, the entire thing behind it is like Brad Pitt is supposed to go down and he towards the end he's getting beat up. He's like, taking hits, but he gets back up and he's like, I'm not gonna take the deal. But the entire thing is like he was bribed to stay down. And like you don't think that happens in the real world? You don't think that happened with the Jake and I can't pronounce his name.
Askren.
You don't think that happened with the fight?
It's very possible. I don't think Askren would take it at all, but it's very common in boxing for people to take bribes. It's incredibly common.
Jake Paul's net worth.
WWE.
Okay,
Oh my
well
God.
that's just a whole different style of thing. Okay. Also, here's another thing with Jake Paul. So he showed up at UFC 261, Usman versus Masvidal, and he pressed Daniel Cormier, another wrestler. Daniel Cormier is what, 50 now? Daniel Cormier is old. He's really
I
old.
want to see him fight
And
Mike Tyson. That'd be
wrestler.
fun.
He pressed another wrestler at UFC 261. Cormier was a double UFC world champion. He held 2 belts simultaneously, an incredibly hard feat to accomplish, and is one of the only people to give John Jones any type of challenge. So I don't really know why Jake thinks he's going to win that fight. Probably because Cormier was a wrestler, but also Cormier proved his striking was insane. He had, I think, 14 TKOs in his career. That's not a small amount. He proved his point of being a badass.
If Jake's gonna fight retired people, might as well start call out Mike Tyson because he's retired.
Oh God,
It's
I hope
'cause-
he fights Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson
He would
kill
get
the kid.
pummeled, and I'm pretty
Yeah, Mike
sure,
Tyson would
even
go
though
point
he
out.
is probably not the brightest of people, I'm pretty sure that he knows.
He knows not to fight a boxer.
He knows.
He
That's
knows
why
not
he's
to-
not.
Yeah.
he's probably, his end goal is to fight McGregor. McGregor was a
brother?
kickboxer,
Or
so I don't really know
oh,
what's going on. Yeah, McGregor was a kickboxer, so
I mean,
he knows-
I bet KSI could probably beat Jake.
yeah, he knocked out Logan.
Hmm
yeah.
He could
Just
beat
saying.
Jake.
It's like KSI proved his point with Logan.
As long as KSI doesn't do the thing that I'm pretty sure Asterisk did with like, oh, I'll probably be fine. It's just some kid. I beat his brother already. This kid will be easy. As long as
Yeah,
he doesn't
KSI
do that,
take
he
it.
has it in the bag.
Anybody who takes a fight seriously will beat him. It's like Jake Paul is not. Yeah, he's not anything. I mean, I think Chris Weidman, he's a UFC champion, world champion. I don't know if he still holds the belt, but which I don't think he does anymore because he did lose. I think Chris Weidman sums it up perfectly. He's an ex-UFC world champion, and he said Jake Paul has done nothing to earn these fights. He's just pulled people out of retirement, and then when he pressed Daniel Cormier at UFC 261, he made a very good point of saying, what has Jake done to earn a fight with one of the greatest who ever was in the ring?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was waiting for someone to say that. I'm like,
Yeah.
Are we just gonna be silent right now? That's not like you. I'm just playing with balls right
Yeah,
now.
no, this lad
Wait,
doesn't have.
these kind of balls.
What are you talking about?
I got a jar of balls. Anyway, so I'd say that's good enough for the whole UFC thing. Now,
Feminazis.
yep, time for
My
the
favorite subject.
More
time for the spicy
again,
part.
because
If you guys-
apparently we're not allowed to talk about anything other.
Dude, we touched on it for like 5 seconds. All right, feminazis. So, Damon, I'll let you take it away.
Can I say what I want to say?
No.
Keep it mature.
We already had this discussion.
Yeah, so just
Relatively.
before we go any further, I will say we're not talking about feminism as a whole. I think that is a good movement. We're talking about feminazis, the people who say all men are rapists, kill all men, those people.
So, feminazis, they are stupid. I don't want to hear anyone try to argue with me if they're not, and they have any valid points because all their points are invalid. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. So
Here's
anything I
the
bring up, you
before
cannot argue to me that is remotely correct because it is not. I don't care what you say, what logic you have. Your logic is stupid. Let's start off with what it started with. Kill all men. That is a stupid. That is just
That's a
stupid.
bad idea.
yeah, the
Someone
word
tried to make it I saw a video. Someone tried to make an analogy of what to help people understand what they mean when they say kill all men. So this person's analogy was, let's say they gave you a box of cookies and told you that some of the cookies were made with poop instead of cookie dough. You'd be worried of the whole box, correct? Yes, you probably would be. But
well,
that would imply, if that analogy were to be correct, that would imply that all men acted the same, loved the same, felt the same, everything about them was the same.
yeah, it's completely different. Guys have very different love languages from each other, and I don't know about you guys. Mine personally is physical touch. So it's like there's people who they just like being in the same room or like intimate talk, like conversations, like just deep conversations. That it's
Yeah,
all
like
depends.
some guys can speak their feelings very, very well. Unlike me, I cannot do that at all. So if you try to start talking to me about feelings, I'm just gonna sit there looking at you blank face and wondering why the hell are you talking to me like this.
So if you're a girlfriend, if you're a future girlfriend listening to this, and Damon's getting all feely with you, I'm the one texting you, not him.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I will very rarely say anything feely at all. So if I send you something feely, it's either I asked Adam or Adam texted it for me
Yeah,
with using my words. Like I told him something, then he'd put it into words because I cannot do that at all.
yeah. All right. Also, if you hear any banging in the background, that's painters at my house doing something. They're so loud, and I do not know why.
We can't. Don't worry.
All right, good. Yeah,
And
but
did you guys hear about the that 11-year-old kid who killed himself because someone told him to kill Cam?
yep, kill him on
I
Like
think
11
yeah,
years.
some 11-year-old hung himself, I think, because of some girl in a game was like kill all men, and he was trying to I don't even know.
Yeah.
Oppressor.
I guess.
Also, what's it called? If you guys want to get onto that topic of like the young suicides, did you hear about the 9-year-old who hung himself because he was being bullied at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I saw that video. It's
Like
that's just
the kill all men thing. Yes, all people older than the age of I don't most people in the like in high school, like let's say 10th grade or up, they know that it's just stupid.
yeah,
But it's not we're not worried, or I'm not worried about the people in high school. Maybe freshmen sometimes because they're kind of young still, but at least sophomores and up, I'm not really worried about them. It's the people that are younger than them that'll take it way too seriously, not knowing it's a
yeah. Like, I know
not
for me,
well.
freshman year,
Okay,
I was
maybe the alt girls don't think it's a joke, but not knowing that it's not right, and they'll kill themselves thinking that they're doing a good thing.
yeah,
really
middle
doing
middle
exciting.
school years are really impressionable on people. Like, a lot of people, they decide what they want to be for the rest of their lives in middle school, but you don't actually know what you want to be. You don't actually know who you are yet. And even in high school, I don't know who I am. I'm kind of just here. I kind of just exist. And like
Yeah,
what I'm gonna do later in life, I don't know. I
No
I
clue.
would prefer kids, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I don't
know
know
if I
about
want
kids.
kids, you
Kids are
know?
kind of eh.
Yeah, Damon doesn't want kids now, but maybe down the line he'll want kids. Who knows? Like, we just don't know.
yeah. Like me personally, I know that I want a family, but something could happen. I could like be able to have kids or something. You never know.
Hmm.
Like if I'm not gonna get into all that stuff, but it's like yeah, it's just we don't know what's gonna happen.
And then
The people who try
and
and
then for
decide.
the kill all men, people started like retaliating, saying kill all women as a joke, literally entirely as a joke, as you can tell, because they're not
Aside from a
stupid.
couple, obviously a couple of
Okay,
them.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
there's obviously gonna be a couple that's actually agree to it, but majority is a joke for.
Yeah,
And then of course the feminazis get all upset. Oh, you can't say that. That's misogynistic. Oh my god. It's like hold up, hold,
well,
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Yeah, that's the double standard is what's the thing for me.
And they better the hell not say that they're gonna be bone marrow babies. Those
Crap.
last for two freaking 2 weeks at the max, 2 weeks. And even if they live past 2 weeks, they're gonna be deformed, mentally disabled.
Yeah, we're going over things that we already said in the first episode.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
women think they can live without men, and hilarious. Power and water will go out in the first week of no men because men take up most of the electrical
Majority of the workforce.
yeah, majority of the
Well,
workforce. So
blue
there's
collar
probably
workers.
like very,
That's what
very little women working at electrical power plants or water treatment plants. So even if all men do go missing, they won't be able to keep up with all the water and electricity.
I can actually explain why they say that there's a wage gap between guys and girls. And it's because guys tend to work more dangerous jobs and therefore more high paying jobs. And with those high paying jobs, you get the misconception that they get a dollar for every 72 cents a woman gets. That's in a broad scheme of things. Also, men work more than women, period. There are more men employed. There are more men who will ask for a raise. There are more men who will put in for overtime. That's just a fact. Men are less likely to take vacation times and call in sick.
And
It's what
some jobs pay for experience. So if a man has more experience than the woman, the man's gonna get paid more for the same job because he has more
Well,
experience.
yeah, that works both ways too. If a woman has more experience, they're
Yeah,
obviously
that's why I
gonna
said
hire the woman
experience
over.
first. That's why I said
Yeah.
some jobs pay for experience. So if a man has more experience than a woman in a certain like welding or something, the man's obviously gonna get paid more because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and it's like also if you're gonna use a logic, oh, well, women work more dangerous jobs than men. Well,
What
here's the
jobs?
thing: you don't see hundreds of women dying each year in coal mines. Men make up 90% of workforce deaths, and those 10%, only 6% of them are actually workplace related. 4% are external factors.
Like another one of the most dangerous jobs is underwater welding,
Oh yeah,
and you don't not very many women do underwater welding. It's mostly men because it's very hard to do.
yeah, and that's perfectly fine. They say women will do better in college, and I 1,000% agree with that. They just most of the time don't go into those higher paying jobs or those.
I feel like
I,
women mostly become
Well,
teachers, if anything. They usually
they.
become teachers and stuff like
I
that.
feel like if you're gonna do better in college than a man, you're probably gonna get a higher paid job. You're probably gonna get a white collar job.
yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
who's
saying.
who's going to college and then gonna get out and become a carpenter or become a whatever. Like
Yeah, well, you can go to college for that kind of stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
yeah, but
if
like really you're going to
if
college
you're
to
a
do
really smart girl, then I seriously think you should go into that higher paying job. Don't go for a teacher or something like that. Like, yes, we do
I feel
need.
like most girls go
yeah, don't
straight for
fall short.
teachers because
If you're one of those
If
people who's
look,
just really good in school, I seriously think that you should take that opportunity. Like, be the change. All these girls are like, oh, there's no change. Be that change. Put in for
yeah,
that harder job. Put in for that more pay, the more dangerous one.
like
It's
don't just
stereotyping.
stand there.
Yeah,
Don't just stand there and like, oh, there's no change. We if
yeah,
you can make that wage gain 73 cents, 74 cents,
oh, that
do
okay.
it.
Here's a little simple explanation for not standing around. That's like me complaining that I'm not getting better at a video game even though I don't put in the time to practice. I'm like,
yeah,
why am I not getting better? Oh my god, because you're not practicing.
yeah. A great way for that. Me and Damon, we play Apex. That is a hard game.
I used to I
That is
used to
not
oh, I
easy to.
used to not get 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage used to be very hard for me to get. Now
Yeah,
I drop 1,500 damage at least every game.
yeah. It's an average at this point
Yeah,
because you.
because I've gotten better.
Yeah, and you didn't get it by just sitting around doing nothing. It's like you put the time in and you played it a lot. And you
Like
start.
way too much.
Yeah, same. But
Like I have over 1,000 hours.
yeah, I found a way to look mine up, and I have 2,000 hours on Apex.
Do you actually?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you can play during the week.
yeah, I got 2,000 hours on Apex, so that's healthily unhealthy.
Yeah, that's about 2 months. No, three, almost three.
3 months. That's alright. And I've only been playing it for less than a year.
But anyway. Yeah, if you complain about wage gap and you don't do anything, or not, no, if you well, there's no complaining about wage gap. You could complain if you work the exact same job as a man, you have like the exact same like credentials or whatever. Then I understand you complaining because if they do the exact same thing you do, and you guys like exactly the same in knowledge wise, then yeah, I can see that. But in majority, it's many factors.
Yeah.
Now on to what is it? What's the other topic I was thinking of? I forgot what it was.
All right, Chap. Here, you got a topic?
No,
Um,
it's still in the feminazi topic. I forgot what it was though.
Oh.
Uh,
Uh, Here, you know, what, let's get real deep with the boys here. What are your guys' views on abortions?
if you're not ready to have a child, then okay. So here's first off, if you're not ready to have a child, either don't have sex or take the pill and use condoms, use all that stuff to make sure. Exactly. Make sure your condoms aren't ripped, to do all that stuff. That's
Yeah.
number one. Number two, if you don't want the child, but the father does want the child, do not get an abortion. That's just you're just taking a life from a child.
Yeah.
Let the father have the child. It's the same thing as if the father didn't want it, but the mother wanted it and the father wanted an abortion from it. Same thing.
Yeah.
But if and going into child support because it's in the same category. If the father before they have sex, if he says, "I do not want a child," if there's a child and you want to keep it, I do not want to pay child support because he did not want the child. He should be able to opt out of it if he explicitly beforehand said, "I do not want a child."
Get that shit in writing. Like,
Exactly. If he does not want a child, you cannot force him to pay child support if he explicitly told you before you had sex, if a child comes out of this, I do not want it. I do not want a child. I'm not ready for a child.
yeah.
And
That's
same goes for the mother. If the mother says that she does not want a child before sex and the father wants it, the father should not have to pay child support, or the mother should not have to pay child support if she said it beforehand.
Yeah. All right. Here's my view on it. I believe that it should be an option, but it definitely should not be as widely known or as like. I mean, obviously it's not like glorified or anything, but it shouldn't. It should be an option, but it shouldn't be an option. If that makes any sense, it's like it should be.
It should be an option if they both do not want it. And if they both do not want it, they might as well just have him put up for adoption. That's better than killing it.
Yeah. I get it if you're raped.
Okay, if you're raped, yeah, I understand that.
If you're raped, I get that. It's like if it's one of those things like there's this one show, Jane the Virgin. It's like some guy like in a swimming pool and she got pregnant with it. I get that. It's like that's just you don't know what happened. Then yeah, I can understand that. But it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm not ready for a kid. I'm just gonna have it aborted.
Yeah, just if you're not ready for the kid, put it up for adoption. Because then when you're ready, you don't have
Or
to
just
re-adopt it. You can just try again.
so simple. Don't be doing the dirty. It's like it's that
Yeah.
simple. Just don't.
And if you are, make sure you have protection and
Yeah.
pill.
Condoms. If you're under 18, which most of the time those are the people who get abortions. If you're under 18, they're free. All birth control is free.
Yeah. And if you're in school and you do it, you can just go to the nurse's office and ask. They'll have you sign a paper or two, and they'll give you some.
Yeah. They just
Like
need to,
they're not hard to get.
hell, if anything, they'll say thank you as you're walking out. It's like
Yes, they'll say thank you because you're being responsible. Condoms are not hard to get at all.
you can get a pack of them for like you can get like a really big pack for like $5.
Yeah, they're not hard to get. They sell them at gas stations, drugstores, all the other like
Walmart.
corner markets.
Yeah, it's like just get
They sell them everywhere. Just be
Okay.
smart about it. Right,
And also, if it's like if you don't want to tell your parents you're having sex, then you shouldn't be having sex.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you have to hide it from your parents, it shouldn't be happening in the first place.
Mhm.
You.
But if you're 18, then you have all right to do whatever you want. But if you're under 18 and you're having sex and you don't want your parents to know, don't have sex.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Or tell them you're having sex, and if they're okay with it, because some parents will be okay with it if you're using protection and telling them, so they know. So if you tell your parents and they say it's okay, then there you go. You're all good.
Like me personally, I'll share a little bit of my personal life here. Um, I'm going to a purity ceremony next Sunday. Actually, not next Sunday, but this coming one, and like do the whole purity ring and everything. And it's basically like making the promise to God, like I'm not gonna have sex or do anything sexual until marriage, like do have any sexual partners until marriage. And I think that that's something that a lot of people should do. It's like a lot of people say it's like, oh, why would I wait till marriage? Well, if you're religious, one, it's a sin.
Hmm.
Putting that out there.
Abortion, I have to agree completely with Adam. If it like it should be an option, but it should be advised against. Like
Yeah.
it should be
Like if
pretty much a
you're,
last resort.
It should be
yeah,
an option for
I think
rape mostly.
I feel like here's the best way to put it. If you're a teenager and you're like, oh, I'm not ready for a kid, and you get knocked up, you should not be allowed to abort that child.
You
You should
should
have
just put it up for adoption.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
have
were
Or
it
being irresponsible
like
with
you
your
should
body parts and you didn't protect yourself during sex.
yeah, didn't
Therefore,
scare
you
yourself.
have to deal with the consequences that
Yeah.
you gave yourself.
Yeah.
are we
Also,
gonna get a woman's opinion now?
I'm a believer. Just yeah, one sec, just real quick. I'm a
Alright.
big believer in it's her choice. Like if the dad wants it and she doesn't, I believe with Damon, then she should have the kid
Oh,
and
definitely.
the dad gets it.
Yes. Because why waste an innocent
If
life
the
who
dad
did nothing wrong?
And vice versa. If the
Yeah, I
mother
know. I
wants
know
it,
some
the
people will
father
try to
doesn't. The
argue with
father shouldn't.
abortion that if it's not in the third trimester, it's not an actual living organism. But they're wrong because it still
No,
has to feed through the
no,
entire 9 months. It has to feed. It has to grow. That's like saying an egg isn't a living organism after it's fertilized.
yeah. You
Yeah.
have
Because
you
it is.
figure out if you're pregnant and then you have a month after that to get an abortion. After that, it's too late. You have that kid.
It's a living because
Like,
once
did you?
once the egg gets fertilized in the mother, it starts feeding and growing. So obviously it's living because it's feeding.
Yeah.
That's why you get hungrier and you gain weight because you're feeding the child, and the child's getting bigger, but you're feeding the child.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear about the whole 2 years if they have a mental defect thing?
What?
Yeah, like
That's just murder at that point.
Yeah. 2 years. That's murder. You're killing.
1 month is
human.
murder. 1 week is murder. A day technically, but
Yeah.
like
Days. Once that baby is out,
murder.
murder. It's like you're killing.
yeah,
a
it's
human
flat out.
being.
You can put it up
Even
for
before that,
adoption or you can keep it.
even
You
like the
can't.
last 2 months of a pregnancy, that's basically a fully formed baby.
It's just
Yeah.
it's fully formed. It's just growing its limbs
It's
to the
still a
normal size.
fetus, but
Yeah.
it's
Some family friends of ours, all three of them are premature babies. One of them is 3 or 4 months early, very early, and has some very bad mental disabilities for it. Like, not, I'm pretty sure she has Down syndrome or like
Like,
some kind of thing like that. Some minor autism when it comes to like if she doesn't know you, she's like scared of you almost, and severe learning disabilities.
I
And
know
it's
there are some cases where if the child has too many disabilities, that it's going to be very hard for it to function in life, or
yeah,
it's going to be a pain for it to function in life. Then they can put it down because it's just helping out. It's like putting
if
out a
it's
dog.
mercy, then it's
Yeah,
mercy. If
Yeah.
yeah.
that
It's like putting
if
down a
it'll
pet. If the pet is way too old, has too many diseases or illnesses, is like disabled in its hips not working, just put it
if
out
it's
of its
yeah,
misery because it's just gonna suffer the longer it lives.
yeah,
That
and I could
that's the only reason it'd be able to. I would allow killing a baby outside the womb.
yeah, and I could speak on that like mercy kill thing because um as some of you guys might know, like listening in on this, I had to put my dog down the day after Christmas, and it was one of the hardest decisions that we had ever made. But it was a mercy. He was 12 years old or 13 years old. He was very old, and his hips were very bad. His legs were very weak, and he had a disease that is very common with labs where their larynx slowly closes until they aren't getting any more air. So every night he was waking up choking and coughing, barely getting any air. He wasn't eating, wasn't walking, and I have known nothing but with that dog. I'm 15, he was 13.
Yeah,
I've known nothing.
my dog is 15. So my parents got my dog as a puppy like a year after me, after I was born. So my dog is 15. Her back hips don't work very well. Like she'll run, she'll like slide around sometimes. She'll sometimes it's hard for her to stand up after laying down. But other than, I mean, she's deaf. But other than that, she's like almost perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like she eats, she doesn't run. She like jogs. She eats, she jogs, she does all normal stuff. She just has bad back hips and is deaf. See, in
Yeah,
that
like
situation, that my dog is perfectly fine to keep living for long enough.
my dog, it
'Cause-
was really bad because his hips were so bad that when he was standing up, he was straining so bad that he would literally shit himself. Like he'd be pushing off and he would like poop where he was because he'd be straining so hard he couldn't control it. So we had to go behind him and like lift his butt up to help him up. So at that point, it's like, yeah, it's a mercy. And it's really sad to say it that way, but it's true.
all right, so we're gonna get a woman's opinion on abortion.
Real
Yes.
quick, like even when it comes to like if you are a
You want me to put her
teenage
on speaker, like
Yeah, let it.
my mic?
yeah,
Yeah,
just
sure.
give me a second. Even if you are like a teen parent and you get pregnant and you have the child but you cannot support it yourself or it yourself and whoever you had the child with, mercy doesn't even have to be killing it. Mercy can be giving it away. Mercy can be letting it go and giving it hopefully a better life. Like I had a dog in the backyard for my whole life, and that poor dog sat out there, and I never gave it the attention that it deserved. And one day he ran away, and I I was sad for a while, but like thinking about it, that dog is probably having such a better life than I ever gave it.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you have a kid, like a really young baby, you can drop it off at a fire department or a sheriff's department, police department, wherever, and nobody even knows who you are. You just drop it off and
Get a
it's
little
all
bracelet, and if you want to come back in, how long is it? A week?
yeah, I think it's a week. I forget what I think it's like the surrender or something, but it's
Yeah, safe surrender.
yeah, the safe surrender. And I think that's better than abortion. It's like it's gonna grow up in adoption, and that's sad. A lot of those kids don't get adopted, but they have a chance at life. Even if like it's very common for adoptive parents to become abusive, and that is an insanely sad thing. And like foster care, that's even worse, and that's where a lot of them end up. But it's giving them a chance. It's better than just, oh, this wasn't my choice, kill it.
Like to the abusive foster parents and adoptive parents, why? Like why?
Real quick, going back to that disclaimer in the beginning, that we are 15. We're not advising you against like it's still your life. Obviously, we're not like saying don't get an
We're
abortion.
not okay. No, we are advising them against abortion. We are doing
Yeah, we're
that.
advising. That's the thing.
But we can't tell you to do anything. If
Yeah,
you want to
we're
get an
advising
abortion,
you.
go ahead and get an abortion.
We're
It's like
advising
we're not.
you against
Yeah.
abortion, and we're also advising you against unprotected sex and sex that sex knowing you don't want a child.
Yeah. So in a way, we're also helping you.
Yeah. All right, another thing. If the woman, oh, I'm on birth control. If you get her
Still wear a
pregnant,
condom.
it's
Still wear a
still,
condom. Still
yeah,
wear a condom. Even if she doesn't show birth control, I'd rather have two fail safes than one.
yup.
Yeah.
If she's lying to you and she wants to get pregnant, she will,
Exactly.
and you'll be to blame.
And
Yeah.
if you want three fail safes, have her wear a condom too. So there's the birth control, she's wearing a condom, and you're wearing a condom.
And if you guys talk about it before, have her take a Plan B in the morning. On top of it,
Watch her
you
take the pill. Watch her.
if you guys are close, it's like as you should be. You shouldn't just be hooking up with people. It's like
Yeah.
if you guys are close and you both don't want a kid, you better make damn sure that you're not gonna have one.
Yeah,
Because
like if you're
you're not
hooking up with someone, you
you will
better wear
ruin
protection.
yours
That's
and the
if
kid's
you don't.
Yeah, it's like if you're not ready for a kid, you will ruin your life and that kid's life.
And the mother's life too.
Yeah,
In the
that's what I meant
situation.
by it's like your life and the kids. It's just
See the women that we consulted, Because she says that the man doesn't get a choice because the man doesn't have to go through all the pains of childbirth.
We
I
gotta
mean,
go through the pain of child support.
you could say that's a fair point, but also, oh, you can't. I'm saying this not as a joke. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying this like if you can't handle the 9 months of, so you'd rather take a life than handle 9 months of whatever, or two, or one.
Yeah, it's like the pain really only sets in the last 2 months or so. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be earlier.
I
My
actually
mom
don't know that.
my mom was bedridden for 4 months with my sister because she got in a car accident as she was pregnant with my sister, and it almost killed her. It
Jeez.
almost killed my sister.
See, like I know that there's no way the first months hurt that much. Like, yeah, you gain
No,
some weight. Yeah, you're getting whatever, but if you're pregnant, you don't. I'm pretty sure the last 1 or 2 months it hurts the most.
and then
And if
obviously
you,
giving birth, but
yeah, if you can't handle the 1 or 2 months of the pain, even if it is a lot, you can't handle the 1 or 2 months of the pain to save a life. You'd rather just get rid of the life to save you from the 2 months of pain that you will get over eventually and forget because there
yeah,
is
your
a
brain doesn't remember pain. So the
exactly, your
second that
brain
pain
gets rid of the
subsides,
pain. It
done.
releases a hormone when you're giving childbirth that gets rid of the pain, so you do not remember it.
And also, nobody's forcing you to have a natural birth.
Get a C-section.
Yeah, there's
No, not
there's
C-section. That's almost
C-sections,
more painful. Yeah,
there's
you can get steroids so that you don't feel it.
yeah,
It's like
Pain relievers,
pain
painkillers,
yeah,
relievers,
painkillers and
painkillers.
all
Yep.
that. Like this, it's just
and the fact that you don't remember the pain is like, okay, yeah, the pain happens, but you forget it. I'm just gonna say this right now: if you get kicked in the balls, you don't forget the pain.
Okay, wait,
I'm
wait.
just
well,
saying that. No, I'm not trying to compare
That
the two.
that has
I'm
to
not
no,
work
trying to
both
compare.
ways though.
I'm not trying to
It
no,
compare
can't
the
just
two.
be I had a child, I forgot about the pain. You'd have to remember the pain.
no.
No,
You
the
remember how severe it was.
Yeah,
Like when you think about it, you don't feel it. That's
you
what
don't
yeah.
remember that. You
I'm
don't
You
trying
don't
remember.
to
You
feel
don't
explain.
the
remember
pain.
how it
Well,
feels.
Like when you see a guy get kicked in the balls, you feel it like in your stomach, like you know where it hurts, but you don't feel it really. Like you go ooh, but
Like
you
if,
don't
like if a
actually
girl were to watch
feel
another
it.
girl give birth, she's not gonna say ooh. Like she's not gonna start like
you won't
whatever.
actually feel the pain. You'll just remember it enough to, know it.
You-
Like
You'll
if
just
you've given,
remember the severity of it. Like if you fall down and scrape your elbow, you can remember anything about that. You get drop kicked in the balls, yeah, you're gonna remember that.
Hmm. Because we don't release the same hormone when we get kicked in the balls as they do when they get childbirth or after childbirth.
But because ours has adrenaline in it,
Yeah, and it hurts
theirs
like
doesn't.
a lot.
Theirs has melatonin, so it
Yeah.
actually makes them a little bit more tired. That way, it relaxes their muscles and allows the baby to come out.
that's
There's science.
interesting.
Yeah, there's actual science behind it. It's pretty cool. We've been recording for a little while now, so I think this is a good place to
A
end
few
it.
minutes.
We got real deep with the boys, nice and spicy for this second episode. Probably a little early, but oh well.
And if you want us to talk about a topic, leave it in the comments. We'll do some research and see if it's a good topic to talk about.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really cool. If you guys have any ideas, drop it in the comments below. This is Deep Thoughts FM, and we'll see you next time.
All right, Damon, go.
I don't have
No,
a riddle yet.
no, don't
Oh,
add. Okay, fine.
I'll look up a riddle real quick. Hold up. Just cut all this
how
out
much
until I see my
wood would a
riddle.
woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck
Okay,
No,
no,
wood?
that's
shut up.
not a riddle.
Damon, hurry up. I don't want to have to edit
Should we do
so
the first person?
much.
Should we do the first person to get the riddle gets a shout out?
I mean,
Yeah.
we already shouted out our first comment. Right
All right
here.
then. All right, I have my riddle.
Okay.
What?
All right, ready?
Go.
All right, here's the riddle of the day. I am tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old. What am I? The first person to answer this riddle correctly will get a shout out in the next video.
All right. Bye. Damon, I've started the recording, dog.
Alright.
Literally, I press record and this thing goes. Like, why?
Alright, shut up. And